everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing pronoun personnel, and we will be discussing in today's session complément the object indirect, indirect object pronoun and the pronoun en or un. So let's begin. We will start with the indirect object pronoun. So what's the purpose of this? It is to replace indirect object. What is an indirect object? It is a noun connected to the verb with the preposition. Remember that direct object pronoun is connected to the verb without a preposition, and indirect object pronoun is connected to the verb with a preposition. Placing, same technique used in direct object pronoun. That is before the verb. Let me remind you, if you haven't seen my previous video or if you don't know how to do direct object pronoun, please go refer my previous video as I've shown a detailed explanation on this, which will be needed for the rest of the pronoun personals that will follow. So, indirect object pronoun can be divided into two sections. Part A is if the preposition is a or any contracted form of a plus animated. What is animated? Animated is anything that has life. We use the following pronouns, which is me, je, lui, nous, le. So let's do an example. We'll solve this in 4 different steps. So let me tell you what the steps are. Step number 1, identify your noun. If you do not know what a noun is, refer my previous video as I have given that detail to you as well. In this case, it is mère. Step number 2 is to see whether the verb is followed with a preposition and what preposition it is. So, couleur is followed with a preposition and it is a. Step number 3, you have to see whether your noun is followed whether your noun is animated or inanimated. Inanimated means something which has no life. And step number 4 is your formation. So here we have a plus mère, which is definitely animated. It means mother. So we will write it as donner, Louis, Sir, couleur. Same placing as we had done before. This LM. And this is how you do your first sentence. Try doing the second one. Il part à mon père. Pause the video and try to do it. Step number 1. Identify your noun. In this case, it is père. Step number 2 is to see whether your verb is followed with a preposition and what preposition it is. Yes, it is followed with a preposition and it is a. Step number 3, check whether your noun has life. Yes, definitely. Père is father and he's a person. Person has life. And step number 4 is framing your sentence. So your sentence will be framed like Elle, Louis, pas. And that's how you do section A. Now we'll move on to section B. If the noun is connected to the verb with any preposition which means a. Mind you, they have given an extra information plus inanimated. I'll come to this as soon as I explain what's after that. Any preposition plus inanimated. I just explained to you what is inanimated. It means something which does not have life. So, but there is an exception to this section. Except the, any preposition except the or any contracted form of the. So anything except the. Plus it has to be inanimated. It cannot be animated. Then we use the pronoun y if it is inanimated, which is pronounced as e in French. Placing same as what we have done here. So, and to remember remember when you're doing a fill in the blanks, it replaces place and time. This is very important. I'll help you do the example, and we will do this. We will do the sentence using the same steps. Step number 1, Lycée is your noun. Step number 2, yes, par is followed by a preposition, and it is a. Step number 3, Lycée has no life since it means high school. And step number 4, framing the sentence, which is my favorite step from everything. It is, we will write it as je eat par, and this is replaced by e. Now pause the video and try to do the second one. Try to do it with the steps. So step 1, boulanger is your noun. Step number 2, va is followed by a preposition, and it is che. Step number 3 is boulanger has no life, and step number 4 is formation of the sentence. Il, va, and that's how you form it. Now before we move on further, if you haven't understood this, please watch the video again so you'll have a better understanding. Now we will move on to, I have prepared a few more examples for you here to make you understand more on what I have said and explained. So now when they give you an exercise, they can give you a mix of these sections. So I have prepared 2 examples for you, and by now I'm sure you will know the steps by heart. Now let me remind you, French is all about fun and improvising your own steps. Now this is how it's easy for me to understand during my exams. This is the simple way I understand. Now when you get used to what you're doing, you can form your own steps or find easier ways for you to understand this pronoun personnel, since it's not a very easy chapter. And also lots of practice. That is very important, to have lots of practice. Go online and check for pronoun personnel exercises. You'll find plenty of them. And always remember, practice makes perfect. So let's move on to this. Now we'll follow the steps again. Etudio, I'm not going to highlight this time because you know everything. Step number 1, étudiant is your noun. Step 2, parc is followed by a preposition, it is a. Step number 3, étudiant has life since it means students. Step number 4 is framing the sentence, which will be il, le, va. Now example number 2. First, piscine is your noun. Step number 2, va is followed by a preposition, it is a. Step number 3, piscine has no life. Step number 4 is formation of your sentence, and piscine will be replaced with e. This is how you do it. I hope you understood this, and I hope you tried this on your own as well before I discussed it. Now we'll move on to the pronoun en. Now en can be divided into 3, or they have 3 rules for the pronoun en. Rule number 1 is any noun connected to the verb with the preposition the. They have specified what the preposition is, or any contracted form of the, use en. Now the placing, same as what we have done before, so you're already used to it. There is a note. When they have given imperative, use s to avoid 2 vowels. Only when we have to replace with en. This is very important, as you know teachers love to ask difficult questions. This is easy for you to identify. I have given you a simple one example. You should be able to do it by now. All you have to do is to identify your noun and check whether the verb is followed by the. Then, if it is followed by the, directly use en. So here, pause the video. Try to do it before I do it. Okay. So the answer will be marche. And that's it. That's how you do it. Now, the second rule is when you have number plus noun. Here in this example, I have given you une. Une means one. They can also give you trois, deux, cinq, quatre, etc. So here, there is a catch. You have to use, as we did before, we replace through since it is a noun. We replace it with a, but we write une at the end. We write the number again at the end. We replace throughs, we cancel throughs, and we write une along with the verb. Now, let me give you another example. So before we move on to the next, you'll have a thorough idea of this. Now here, livre is your noun, and you have the number de after the preposition. Therefore, you directly know you have to replace livre with en. So L, and remember, like we did in the previous exercise, previous example, we kept back the number. So we will write de. This is how you do it. Now the third rule is adverb of quantity. When you have adverb of quantity, you have to do the similar way we did in the previous exercise. That is, we write back your the adverb of quantity without the. So here again, livre is your noun. So we will replace that with and we write biku, but we will not add the. If you haven't understood this, please watch from pronoun en onwards and read what I have written, so you will know what you have to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you understood what I have taught. If not, please write in the comments down below so I can clear your doubts. Please comment, like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Bye.